Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. I'm Mike sitting with the greasy biker, Todd Reed. Todd, we got a good lineup of fights tonight.
Hey, Mike, I'm sure you're saying so. You got a lot of guys coming out of the Ultimate Combat Training Center. Love to see these guys fight.
We got one. I think we've got one in just about every fight. But your main event features the Sugarloaf taking off a big chunk of stuff against Nate Gerrard. This kid is the real deal. A really good wrestler from the Vernal area, and I think Sugarloaf might have his hands full.
You know, he's had a couple rough fights, the last few fights. I'd like to see him get past that hump and take this guy down.
Well, good luck to him, man. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. Couple new timers to the cage coming out here tonight. First up, Carter Downey. Never seen this kid before. Going up against a kid by the name of Jeff Stapleton. Once again, a guy we've never seen before. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get when you see these first-timers come out here, Todd. You got a chance to talk to Carter just a little bit. Does he have any fight background, or has he been doing? He's got fight shorts on, so that's a plus.
Yeah, you know, he didn't have a whole lot to say. He was in the zone. I'm not sure if he was nervous about this fight or he is just so in the zone and ready to get out there and into it.
You know what I really like to see is when you have your wife working in your corner for you. That's a pretty good indicator. You may not have a whole lot of background, or you have a coach, you know what I mean?
Yes.
When your wife's your corner person, well, you know, there's a plus and minus to that. You'd be afraid to go back to your corner if you lose, right?
Exactly. They might push you just a little bit more.
All right, so his opponent, Carter Downey, right? Now, again, don't know much about him. I think, if I remember right, this kid is a wrestler, another kid from the southern part of the state. Now, his coaches look a little more serious. All right, one of my favorite people on this planet, Lonnie Foster, your referee for this contest, getting these guys, giving the ins and outs and the ones and twos, letting them know what you can and what you cannot do in an MMA contest. Jeff Stapleton and his wife are going up against Carter Downey and his honorary-looking coaches. Round number one on the way here. Come on, Lonnie, let's get them going. All right, here we go. They're going to touch the gloves. It looked like Downey was a little bit apprehensive about doing that, but Stapleton, the friendly sort that he is. I'm just going to guess by the early few seconds here that Carter Downey is going to win this fight. He just looks more comfortable, more confident. He's got good fundamentals, his posture, his stance, but he's taking some shots right here. I got to give Stapleton some credit. He's landed a couple big shots.
Yeah, well, Downey really sizing up Stapleton there from the beginning.
Sizing him up and said, I don't like the taste of that leather, and did a nice double leg takedown. You can see the wrestling background there. Beautiful takedown, good finish. Now he's got to do something now that they're on the ground. You see this all too often where guys kind of, again, wrestlers, they'll take you down, and they don't know what to do when they get you there, because right now he's accomplished what he normally tries to accomplish in a wrestling match. He's got you on your back. You're pinned. Now you got to realize that, okay, this is just the beginning. I've got to pass his guard. That would be my first move. He's got an open guard. He should be easy to pass. Carter not recognizing that. He's wanting to punch from within the guard, which, you know, I mean, it's good, but you're not going to have anywhere near the amount of effectiveness as you would if you just pass the guard first. They always say position before submission. Try to improve your position, then go for that submission, whether it be by strikes or by submission. But you've got to pass that guard first.
Yeah, that's a difference you see in some of these seasoned fighters with a really good wrestling background. They get down to the ground, they're already set up and ready to go into the next move. Some of these newer guys might have really good ground game with a good wrestling background. They get down there and they freeze up for a minute, and you know, they start to gas out. They're not sure what to do next.
Well, fortunately for Downey, Stapleton doesn't have a whole lot of offense from underneath. You know, he's got him in his guard, but I'm not even sure he knows that because so far he's done nothing with his guard. When you hold your legs out apart from one another like that, he's basically got an open guard, and you only have an open guard when you're trying to attack, when you're trying to look for a submission. And right now, he's just kind of letting his legs dangle there.
He just looks like he's getting beat up to me.
Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like to me, man. We get a better camera angle, maybe we'd see some of the blood coming. There we go. Yeah, Downey's really starting to pound away, and I don't know. I'll tell you what, though, Lonnie Foster, he'll let the action go for a while. You got to earn a stoppage from Lonnie. It looks like Carter Downey is earning that. All right, okay, so Lonnie's seen enough. If Lonnie's seen enough, trust me, so have the rest of us. Yeah, buddy, wow. I'll tell you what, Jeff's wife's probably not smiling as big as she was just a few minutes ago. Yeah, no, I tell you what, though, you go home looking like that, and you're going to get some.
Yeah, and, that's both sides of his face there. He really had it put to him.
Well, yeah, he got beat up on the left side, then he got beat up on the right side, then he got beat up right down the middle. Look at his nose, too.
Did.
Carter Downey making an impressive first appearance here in the Ultimate Combat Experience cage, and he's got to feel pretty good about things. Well, hopefully we see this kid again. And, man, Jeff Stapleton, shake it up, come back again. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. We're going to go down to the little guys. Here's a guy I know a little bit about. So Samson Lee wandered into my gym one day and said, I'm a Muay Thai fighter. He says, I'm from Hawaii, and my uncle owns a Muay Thai gym in Hawaii, and I'm good. And so we put him in the ring, and you know what? He was pretty good. Talented little kid, good little athlete, and good-looking fighter. Just now learning ground, just now learning wrestling and wrestling defense, just now learning what to do on the ground in terms of submission and submission defense, going up against the kid who has a little bit of a wrestling background, Tyler Tucker. They say he's a pretty good wrestler. I haven't seen him fight before, but the word on the curb is this kid's pretty tough.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm expecting Samson to have a bit of an advantage on his feet. I'm expecting to see Tyler Tucker maybe have an advantage on the ground. But, it's a pretty profound difference in both of them. I think Samson's going to be much, much better on his feet, and I expect Tyler Tucker to be much, much better on the ground. Once again, to kind of fish out of water when you go into unfamiliar territory, uncharted territory. But both these guys willing to do it. That's what mixed martial arts is all about. You got to mix them all up and do martial arts. So here you got Muay Thai against wrestling. Who's going to win? Ethan Andrews, your referee for this contest, says, let's get it on. Let's see what we got. Samson Lee tried to set up that left hook. Tyler steps right into it and gets a nice takedown, a beautiful takedown. And this is where Samson Lee does not want to be. He's not a guy that, as you can see right there, he's got a reverse triangle on. To put a reverse triangle on, you have to understand where the pressure needs to go, and he's not putting the pressure where it needs to go. So, it's again maybe a move that he might have seen. I'm not so sure he really understood it, but now he's in a really bad spot with Tyler Tucker getting up on top in a full mount position.
Yeah, Tyler moved into that really smooth. He's got some ground game there. He looked like he was very comfortable moving up on Lee.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great scramble and transition. Lee doing a good job of getting a reversal there, but not able to pass the guard of Tyler Tucker. See, now there's when you have an open guard and you're working. He's got that open guard. He's looking for a reversal right here. Done a good job to the point where Samson Lee said, let me get up on my feet. Nice kick, just grazing the top of Tyler Tucker's head.
Just giving Tucker enough time to get in and get his back on that turn.
He sure did, and now he's got his back and he's getting his hook sunk in there. All the bad things for Samson Lee, all the good things for Tyler Tucker. That thing looks like it's getting in pretty deep. Tyler Tucker doing a good job of riding the hips. Samson Lee trying to roll and get out, but Tyler gluing his hips to the back of Samson Lee, not allowing him to escape the back mount position. Now he's throwing some nice punches. I'll tell you what, Tyler Tucker didn't look like a real tough kid when he walked into the cage. I wasn't all that super impressed by his physical presence. But boy, I tell you what, on the ground, he's like a little mat rat. He's tough. He knows what he's doing. He's got good mastery on the ground, and really taking it to a kid that's a pretty good athlete in Samson Lee. He's really making Samson work right here, and Samson's been on the defensive most of this first round.
That's the thing with having two fighters like this. One a standing fighter and the other one wants to take it to the ground. It's going to go back and forth a little bit, but Tucker just looking so comfortable down there, pounding on Lee.
What's interesting about that, when Samson was on his feet, he threw some nice technique, but he threw it with reckless abandon. He threw it like it was a Muay Thai fight. You've got to be conscious of the fact that if you don't land this kick, you're going to get taken down. So you've got to put yourself, and your footwork has to be such that you're not going to get taken down. And Samson, I don't think, took that into account. And had he maybe had the benefit of hindsight here, he would change things a little bit, because now he's really paying the price underneath there. That was a figure 4 on the body, and was really squeezing the air at him. Looks like Samson's not really sure why we're stopping this, and I'm not either. I don't know why Ethan did. Oh, man, he stopped it because there was no action. When you've got somebody's back like that, man, that was a crazy stoppage. At any rate, round number 1's in the books. A little strange stop there, but Tyler Tucker really doing his thing. We'll got round number 2 when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. Samson Lee and Tyler Tucker doing their thing here at the Ultimate Combat Experience. Now, Samson got beat up in the first round. He's throwing his striking with reckless abandon. Tyler Tucker able to take advantage. That's a much more measured approach. A nice leg kick there. He would stick to that strategy and move afterward. Nice job. But he's got to get offline for that shot right there. When Tyler Tucker comes down the middle, you've got to step offline, and Tyler Tucker doing a good job of stepping in and making things difficult.
Some good knees in there.
I'll tell you what, yeah. Samson Lee actually was getting stricken upon, and that was his territory there. Samson now getting the takedown. He winds up on top of Tyler Tucker.
He's got him pressed up against the cage there, making it hard for Tucker to get out.
We'll have to see if Samson knows what to do from here, though. Look what he did. He just left his head behind. Tucker able to scoot his hips out enough to reach up and put a guillotine choke on. Samson able to get out of that, but you can see the just rookie type mistakes that Samson is committing here. Those type of mistakes that a well-versed ground fighter wouldn't make. And Samson Lee trying to throw some big strikes from on top, trying to get things going from on top. But looks like a triangle choke coming, possibly a transition to armbar.
So smoothly, too.
Yeah, he's beautifully making these transitions. He just got that triangle. He's got him pinned down there, and Samson Lee's in a big bunch of trouble right here. Yeah, I think you're gonna unless Samson does something, you're gonna see this fight. Oh, there you go. Nice job. Get his legs up there to try to defend. You got to do something. You can't just stay there and take that kind of punishment. And there goes. That's triangle choke.
There
right tap. There's your tap. Man, Samson Lee got tapped out by an inverted triangle choke, and that was no joke. That was on tight. That was a very nice job by Tyler Tucker. This kid's a good-looking kid.
Yeah, very impressive. He came out and he stayed in it the whole time. Very smart, taking him to the ground. You could tell he knew right off that Lee wasn't going to be able to hang with him on the ground.
Yeah, Samson a little bit frustrated. He's not had that happen to him before. He's got such tremendous stand-up that, it's kind of hard when you try to test yourself in other arenas or other areas of the fight game that it's hard to make that transition. It's certainly hard to have a guy, actually overpower you like that. Let's go move on to the next fight. Chase Walker and Griffin, excuse me. There you go, Chase Walker and Bryan Griffin. This is Bryan Griffin. He's a kid that is going to be kind of hanging around the fight show for a time here. You see him in the audience quite a bit, and he's now making his foray to the inside of the cage where things look a little different up here. There's like an angry dude that wants to punch you in your face. That's the biggest difference from sitting outside of the cage.
Chase Walker looks ready to go.
Chase Walker's another kid that people are really big on. I had a chance to chat with him a little bit. He's another wrestler. He's a kid that He's got a bit of a. He says he's got a bit of a checkered past. He's been in a few street fights of his own. Feels like he's going to come in here and do things here in the ring, or in the cage rather. Bryan Griffin, I'm not so sure about this kid. When I see him in the audience, he's usually drinking or smoking, and smoking doesn't help your.
Oh, it's got to be great for your training. You know?
Yeah, he looks like he lacks confidence right now as well. He looks a little bit scared, to be honest with you. Well, nice left hand, though. Left. You know, that's the amazing thing about this sport is you just never know. You're going to get caught by that shot. You just never know. But you see right there Chase Walker with his wrestling background. Nice takedown.
Well, I think it was Chase Walker. It looked like he had Wyatt Earp in his corner down there.
Yeah, I saw that, man. You couldn't hurt to have Wyatt Earp in your corner. Right. That guy could fight, right? All right,
these guys are scrambling now.
I'm pretty sure Wyatt Earp would say no to those shorts, though, man. I don't think that would have been too big on that. But Chase Walker doing a good job getting full mount position, and Bryan Griffin's in a little bit of trouble. I think Chase Walker wants to send him back to the third row. You go back to your seat where you belong.
You know, he keeps pushing the hands down on the face there, taking the air away.
Doing a nice job there of just picking his shots, not getting too crazy, not getting impatient. Finding the openings when they present themselves, and when they do, he makes you pay. Bryan Griffin trying the best he can to use those legs to trap the arm of Chase Walker so he can punch him, but you just get the sense one's coming, and there's one or two, and
yeah, Walker just scooting him out a little further away from that fence. So
yeah, so he can go to work on it. Oh, yep. Yeah, this is going to do it right here, man. Griffin, yep, you don't want any more of that.
Some huge shots to the face.
Lonnie Foster is going to make you earn that stoppage, though. He's an old schooler. Lonnie's been around a long time. He's seen a lot of people get punched in the face, and so you're not going to phase him like you would some of these newer referees. Lonnie's he said, you know, you got the cojones to come up in here and get in here, so you're gonna have the cojones to tough it out. Unless you let me know that you're going to tap. Those are some big elbows, some huge elbows. I don't know about you, Todd, but I think I've about seen enough of the face pounding here.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to go on too much longer. There's not. There we go.
Yeah, that's I like how he almost acts like he's going to get in there, and then does it. He's Bryan Griffin's like, hey, man, this is me getting punched in the face.
Walker's going to get tired before they stop.
His arms are wearing out from punching me in the face. Bryan Griffin, you know what, though? You did it, buddy. You did it. You came out here and you did it. You didn't do it well, but you did it.
Yeah, very strong finish there by Chase Walker.
Yeah, Chase Walker, you know, he's a kid that I really think, you know, he could do some damage in this sport. You get a guy. The wrestling base seems to be the theme here. You have a wrestling base. What makes that special is not just that you know how to wrestle. It's that you have the work ethic of enduring a wrestling season of, you know, coaches, you know, making you do 2-a-days or whatever else, and that makes you tough. It makes you be able to endure situations like that. But look at that Bryan Griffin, man. He's happy. He came here and he did it, and that's a sense of accomplishment. I'm glad he's feeling it.
That's great. He's a nice guy.
No, he's a really nice guy, you know, and Chase Walker, you know, sometimes nice guys get punched in the face, and Chase Walker was happy to be the guy to do the punching tonight. And, you know, once again, hopefully we see this kid again. He's a good-looking kid, and there you have it. We got more Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're going to go to the welterweight division here. You got a kid by the name of Jeff Jacobs, a kid that we've not seen before. Jeff Jacobs feels very confident coming into this fight because he's going up against a kid that we have seen before. And he's another one of those guys that doesn't exactly have a stellar record inside the cage. That's that being Mike Darcy. Mike Darcy's a regular at the show. He's here every weekend. There you go. That's Jeff Jacobs' wife. Once again, working corners. Wives working corners always gives the opposition a little bit of confidence. unless your name is Mike Darcy. Mike Darcy, not the toughest kid around, but he's been around. He's been around for a little while. I want to say he's lost more than he's won, but he gets in here and he does it.
Yeah, you really got to give it up for some of these guys that just keep coming back time after time, whether they win or lose. Willing to step in the ring, step up, take some of these fights.
It's interesting you say that because a guy like Mike Darcy will take those big fights, and the state of Utah is telling him, we're going to take your license away if you don't win some fights. And why? They're grown men. He's willing to come in here and do it. He wants to come in and do it. This is his passion. This is a sport of his choice. Why would you take that away from a guy? Why would you not allow him to continue doing what he's doing? I just think sometimes too much regulation is just too much.
Yeah, and winning's winning, and that's great, but if you're willing to get in there and step up and brawl, and you keep losing fights and you keep coming back, good on you.
Not only that, there are much worse things this kid could be out doing than what he's doing right now. He's in a very controlled environment. He gets in a bad spot like he's in right now. They will stop it. But Mike Darcy taking some big knees to the face right here. Yeah, I don't think he expected this much out of Jeff Jacobs. Jeff's, again, kind of a newcomer. But Mike Darcy, wow, he's just been overwhelmed here. And once again, we mentioned this earlier, here's the cool thing about this sport. You can tap. If you don't like where you're at, tap. All right, look right now, Mike Darcy's hands are trapped. You can't even get him out to tap. He's trying to tap with his foot. Yeah, buddy. All right,
wow.
So, look, Mike Darcy, once again, this wasn't the most entertaining fight we've seen, and it's not even close to it. But he's a kid that, he wants to come out and do it. And this is an opportunity for some of these new guys to come out here and see if this is for them. And obviously, Jeff Jacobs, I think that question mark is still out there because I don't think he's been in a fight just yet. But it gives you experience. It gives you an opportunity to come in here and see if mixed martial arts is for you. I think we'll see Jeff Jacobs again. And I know we'll see Mike Darcy again. I promise you we'll see him next week. He'll be here hanging out, if nothing else. But he's got a nice little shiner. Now, look, this part I do get. I do get the athletic commission saying you're going to need to take a little time off, get that shiner all healed up, and come back and try it again. But big win for Jeff Jacobs. Congratulations to him. And once again, I hope we see more of this kid. All right, we're going to go to the middleweight division now. Matt Stoddard and Malik Olsen. Matt is a kid training out of my gym. Really good-looking kid. Been around for just a little bit here. And I think you're going to see some good things out of him. Matt Stoddard, they call him the blanket because when he gets on you, it's hard to get off you. He just smothers you. He's a super strong kid, super good wrestler. Again, I think he's a kid you're going to see just a little bit more of as the years go by. But Malik Olsen, he's another kid that watches the show on the regular. Feels like it's going to be, he's going to have tremendous success in here. I'm just telling you, some of these guys, I don't know if they realize that it just looks a lot easier from the outside than it is from the inside. Says he's mostly a street fighter. He's got a little bit of a boxing background, what he says, but I'm telling you, a guy like Matt Stoddard, I saw his cornerman has a UFC hat on, so maybe he knows what he's doing. You can't just buy the hat and then get the knowledge, too. I just think Stoddard's going to be too much for him. This is Stoddard's first fight. This is Malik's first fight. But I think Stoddard, he's tough. He's got some of the better guys in the gym that are a little bit afraid of. They don't even like rolling with him. He's that good.
Yeah, he seems very relaxed. He's got the reach and height advantage there.
Yep, all right, here we go. There goes Malik. Comes out with a nice, strong big right kick, and there goes the blanket, smothering him. That's what the blanket does. He gets on top of you, and he's hard to get out from underneath. Even though Malik's got him in his guard right now. And, Stoddard is still a little inexperienced as well. I mean, he should have passed guard by now already. But Stoddard just wants to smother, wants to press him against the cage, and watch out because the bombs are about to start flying. And here they go. Well, maybe not. Maybe not just yet. Maybe he's working his way up to it.
Oh, Olsen's a strong guy.
No, he is a strong kid, no doubt about it. And he looks like he's an athlete. But Matt Stoddard again, the blanket doesn't have to like start dropping bombs on you just yet. He's just going to smother you for a little bit and make you super uncomfortable underneath him. And then when the time is right, he's going to bring it to you. And right here, nice. He just passed the guard, and that's Malik's obviously, his lack of experience giving up position that easily. Matt Stoddard able to get out to side control, and where he's able to get those striking working for him more accurately. And I have to say that I'm pretty impressed with how patient Stoddard's being. He's not trying to throw that knockout punch just yet. He's taking his time. He's smothering this kid, which is what he's famous for. Now he's really got Malik in a bad spot. He's got him flattened out and has his back. And, now he's got an arm free, and he's going to use it.
Well, this is where Stoddard comes in with those big, heavy hands. I mean, when he just starts putting them to you, it's just going to wear you out.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's, wow, that was very quick on the stoppage. I don't know if Malik verbally tapped or what, but you don't see Lonnie Foster step in that quickly too often. He steps in quickly right here. And, Matt Stoddard, he did have position. There's no doubt about it that Malik was just about to experience a whole lot of pain. And so probably best for him that referee Lonnie Foster stepped in and stopped things right there. All right, he's having a hard time getting back up to his stool, let alone going to have a hard time walking out of here. But
Stoddard looks like he just walked into the ring.
He doesn't look any more worse for wear than when he got here, did he? All right, there's your big win for Matt Stoddard. Once again, good-looking kid, tough kid. We'll see more. I hope so. See more. Couple featherweights coming out next, Parris Swain and Garrett Desmond. Now, Parris Swain's a kid we've seen quite a bit of. Started out as a boxer. I mean, he just strictly was a boxer, but his game has really rounded out quite a bit. He's got very good submission. Now his guard is wicked for a guy who hasn't been doing this for a long period of time. Decent ground, decent stand-up. Maybe not so tough in the wrestling department in terms of defensive takedowns and that type of thing, but which is exactly where his opponent excels. Garrett Desmond is a wrestler. And so once again, we have one of these style matchups where you've got a wrestler against a striker / submission guy. Should be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, two very quick and fit guys. I think we're going to see a lot of movement.
Yeah, these guys are going to bring it. They're going to be like a couple bobcats getting at it. You're going to see a lot of action in this fight. It's always fun to watch the little guys because they bring it. They don't mess around. They come with all they got. All right, Ethan Andrews is your referee. Round number 1 about to get underway here. Parris Swain and Garrett Desmond. Here we go. Nice show of sportsmanship, touch of the gloves, and we're going to settle in here. Nice leg kick by Parris Swain. Nice combination, left, right. Oh, and almost a big head kick. You can see how Garrett Desmond wants to get that takedown, and there he goes. He gets it.
He was just looking for it.
He sure was.
His feet to stop.
Yeah, and I tell you, Parris Swain is good enough on his feet that he's a hard guy to get past. That striking of his is hard to get past for that takedown, but Garrett Desmond able to do that. And not only did he get past him, he's out in side control here, past the guard as well. And he's got Parris Swain in a little bit of trouble. I always like when these guys from southern Utah come up to fight in the show, as Garrett Desmond is. He's from down south, and then you've got obviously Parris Swain. He's up there from the Ogden area, so south meets north right here in the Salt Lake Valley. And anytime these guys come from down south, they bring the entire town with them. The whole place is filled with people from down south there.
Yeah, there's some really good energy here tonight.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and Parris Swain his family has seen him fight enough that they're kind of starting to taper off. He used to bring in a good crowd, not so much anymore. They've seen it, been there, done it, bought the T-shirt. Not a whole lot going on. Man, we were expecting fireworks in this fight, and so far it's been a little bit of a boring fight. But, to the purist, you see some chess matches going on here. You see jockeying for position. There's half guard or half mount, however you want to look at it. Glass is half full, half empty. But Parris Swain doing a relatively good job of just kind of slowing the action down on the ground. But you see a guy like Garrett Desmond, he's not used to striking from this position, so he's not super well versed at it, and you may see a referee step in and stand these two up because not a whole lot's going on the ground.
Swain's going to be a lot more comfortable up on his feet.
He definitely wants to get up on his feet. There's no doubt about it. He's doing a good job of kind of controlling position here. I say that with Desmond on top of him because Desmond, having that position, should be able to sit up and land some strikes. You really control the spacing between you when you're the guy on top, especially when you're in half guard like that. But Swain's been able to take that away. He's been able to keep him very, very close to him. He hasn't allowed him to sit up and do much damage from the position that he earned, so he's kind of controlling the position on the bottom.
And there's a few times there, Swain reached up to grab the head of Desmond there and pulled back and went for something else, not wasting that energy where you're not going to be able to finish.
Yeah, and it doesn't really seem like he's having to hold Desmond down. Desmond seems to be posturing down. He's kind of content on just laying on Parris Swain. It's, again, kind of a wrestler's theology here, but now you're going to get stood up by old Ethan Andrews. He's seen enough hugging. And, actually, it's the end of the first round, so going to send them to their corners. They're going to go back and regroup, see if we can't get some more some changes to our strategy. There's Ethan telling him, you need to get busier. And his judge kind of dismissed Ethan, said, I don't want to hear any of that crap. Get out of here. We got stuff to talk about. So, these guys have brought up an entire crew, the Southern Utah crew, here to do it tonight. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience, round number 2 of 3 between Garrett Desmond and Parris Swain. Oh, big left hand and a huge knee by Parris Swain, but he sacrificed position to the point where it was so easy for Garrett Desmond to take him down, but a nice big shot to start the round. We find ourselves now back in the position that we found ourselves at the end of the round where these guys are just kind of laying on each other. Parris Swain able to use the fence to get back up on his feet, and hopefully he gets back to work. That was some nice striking, nice leg kick there.
Looks like Desmond's ready to get in there and throw some punches too.
I don't know that he wants to be in a punch fest with Parris Swain. He's better off on the ground right there. He did a nice job of taking Parris Swain. He keeps lowering Swain into what he thinks is going to be a slugfest, and every time that happens, Desmond just takes him down.
When Desmond's really closing that gap with them down there, Swain's not having to work that hard.
Yeah, I tell you, it's kind of a yawner once they hit the ground because Desmond's just going to lay on him, and Swain's just going to hold on to him. There's not a lot happening here, and it's interesting to me to kind of what are the judges seeing here? They're seeing one guy on top, one guy on bottom. They're going to give the round to the guy on top, whereas he got a takedown. I'll grant you that, but he got a takedown right after he ate a huge knee and ate a big punch. So to me, they kind of negate one another. But, what are you doing with that position? You got to do something. If I were the referee, you've got to step in a little quicker and say, guys, get to work. Get up on your feet. If you're not going to improve here, I'm going to stand you up.
Well, I'd like to see Desmond posture up a little more and start throwing some punches down there because really he is just laying on him and just letting the round go through. Swain's not in any big hurry to stand up. Well, he's comfortable right there.
There you go. I mean, Ethan's going to stand him back up here. But I think Desmond's wise enough to know that I'm getting the takedowns. Most judges really don't know what they're watching. I'm going to win this round. Some nice striking there again by Parris Swain, but once again it was answered by a nice takedown by Garrett Desmond. And then comes the cuddle fest. Now, that said, we've mentioned that Desmond's not sitting up and posturing up and striking, but Parris Swain's just hanging on. He's not trying to underhook and escape. He's not trying anything. He's just hanging on. So you can't really say one guy is stalling more than the other. One guy's not being aggressive over the other. Sometimes you see a guy that's just trapped underneath there. He's trying to get out, but he's just trapped underneath there. That's not necessarily the case here. You see where Parris Swain has an underhook on that far side with his right arm. He should be moving to either turn that into a choke or an escape. He should be trying to get out from underneath Garrett Desmond, but he's not. He's just kind of hanging on there.
Just waiting to be stood up again or waiting for the end of the round?
Yeah, well, it's the end of the round right there, and it wasn't a whole lot of an action-packed round. These are kind of hard to score. I think you do have to give it to the takedown on this one because, Parris isn't doing anything to get out, and Garrett Desmond is initiating the takedown, so he's got those. They're very, very tight scored rounds so far, but you have to, I guess you look at Garrett Desmond as 2 rounds to 0. Parris Swain's got to come out and do something here, and that's not it.
And down they go again.
Sometimes when you get tired, fatigue, you stand flat foot. You just can't do that in this game. You cannot stand flat foot against a good wrestler because you'll wind up on your back each and every time, and that's what's happened with Parris Swain here. He's been put on his back 3 times now, and then we haven't seen a whole lot of action after that. But he's gotten the takedowns, and that's going to win him this fight. And it's unfortunate that they're not forced to fight a little bit more. And I think Ethan Andrews got to stand him up here. If nothing else, I'd be down there chirping in their ear saying, guys, if you don't do something, if you don't improve here, I'm going to stand you up.
Yeah, I don't think Desmond wants to stand up with Swain. He's quick with those punches, great boxer.
Yeah, well, if he does stand him up again, he'll probably wind up right back where they are. That's no doubt about that. So, Desmond has proven on several occasions that he's able to take Swain down, really at will. He hasn't even had a challenge takedown, if you will. I expected more out of Parris Swain's guard. The last couple fights I've seen him in, he was attacking. He was offensive with his guard. And right here, he's just hanging on for dear life. And maybe that has something to do with the fact that Garrett Desmond is a pretty strong kid. You can tell he's got, his position is he's pretty sound. So, maybe he just doesn't want to take the punishment. But right here, you're taking some body shots, and you're going to lose a fight. You're going to stall out a loss in a fight that I really think, that you had skillfully, you had a chance to be in, to be competitive in, and I'm just not seeing that.
No, Desmond's playing this pretty smart. He's already, what does he have, 4 takedowns now?
Yeah, he's definitely won that battle, and the rest of it's a draw. As far as nothing happening, Desmond is now starting to pound away at the body a little bit. Parris Swain not willing to do anything, not willing to open up, try to escape. You see his feet apart, but he's not doing anything with them. They're just kind of there. So maybe I spoke too soon at the first of this fight, where I thought that Parris Swain's ground game had evolved, and really maybe it hasn't evolved to the point where we thought it had, particularly against the kid of the caliber of wrestler of Garrett Desmond. He's not evolved to the point where he should be trying to sweep right here. Desmond's knees are out wide. He should be easy to sweep, but not even a single attempt by Parris Swain. As the clock starts winding down toward the end of the 3rd round here, Todd, it's pretty plain and simple. Would you say Garrett Desmond's going to win this thing?
Yeah, definitely. There hasn't been a whole lot going on throughout this fight. All 3 rounds have looked the same, and that's Desmond taking down Swain.
And then laying on one another. I really wish Ethan would have stood him up a couple times more, even though the result would have been the same. They would have gone back to the ground most likely. I just wish that Ethan would have at least given that opening and had him work, because nothing happened on the ground. And, I think it's clear that Garrett Desmond's going to win this fight. Well, now we're all winners. All right, good stuff, man. That's what I love about this show, man. You just never know who's going to show up, and sometimes they wear stuff like that, and it just makes it awesome.
Welcome.
Welcome to the fight. All right. Once again, I don't think there's any question here who won. Parris Swain. He's a tough kid, man. He's come a long way, but he hasn't quite brought his game to where it needs to be in order to, to beat a kid like this. You've got to be well-rounded. You can't just be one-dimensional. You can't be super awesome on your feet and then just continue to get taken down like that. Garrett Desmond getting it done. Good job. Congratulations. All right, we're back to the welterweight division. What does that mean? Sugarloaf is here. Sugarloaf's going to fight once again.
He looks like he's going to go through the side of that cage sometimes.
Dude, I tell him, you don't know where I bought that cage. It's not that durable. You've seen our cage crew, right? I wouldn't be slamming on that quite so hard. I think he's going to come fight one of these days. All right, getting a little last-minute coaching. Maybe a little critique on his slamming. I don't know what they were giving him over there, but Sugarloaf's got his hands full tonight. This kid, he's fighting Nate Gerrard, came from Vernal. He fought in our show first time we were out in Vernal. He moved to Salt Lake in order to train at our gym because he wants to go places in the fight game. And this kid has all the tools to be amazing at this. He's an amazing wrestler. Striking is good. He's in amazing shape. He's a hard worker. Man, this kid's going to be something special. And Sugarloaf's got his hands full tonight.
They're bringing up some good fighters out of Vernal.
Vernal's been a very good place to go find good fighters. There's been a ton of them come out of there. It's a wrestling town. If you've been to the state wrestling tournament, Vernal, you went to, is always in the championship rounds. And, so it's a wrestling town. They know the work ethic. Their coach actually puts on the fights out there, so there's a good connection there between, a pipeline between the wrestling team and the MMA fighting. They've brought up a ton of great wrestlers. I kind of, liken it to Elko. It's much similar to that. Maybe we should put an Elko versus Vernal match up together.
I'd like to see that.
That'd be good stuff. All right, here we go. Lonnie Foster, your referee, going to get these guys underway. Round number 1. Here we go. Nate Gerrard very, very slow starting right here, throwing a couple of lazy jabs, nothing really even trying to get close to his target. Both guys kind of feeling each other out. Nice little leg kick there by Nate Gerrard. And striking's not his forte. He's not bad at it, but it's not his forte. You can see he's got good fundamentals. He's got a decent stance and so on, but his forte is wrestling, and he's very, very good at it.
Yeah, Sugarloaf's being very patient here.
Oh, buddy, Sugar landed a nice leg kick that I think just caught Gerrard at a bad time and he swept his foot out from underneath him. I wouldn't consider that a knockdown as much as it was a sweep. But who wound up on his back? Sugar did.
Moves into full mount there.
Yeah, Nate Gerrard really going to inflict some bad news on Sugarloaf here. It looks like he's putting it to him. He's hipping into him. He's striking. He's doing it all. And Sugarloaf's trying to get out, but, Nate Gerrard's not letting him get anywhere.
Oh, the accuracy with those punches.
Yeah, he's not only accurate, but he's hitting with a lot of power as well. Putting his full weight behind him. Those elbows, he's dropping from up high. Really nice stuff. And you see that he actually thought about going to an armbar, but he let it go because he says, I'm having so much fun punching you in the face, I'm going to keep going. Just nasty, dirty fighting. It's not dirty, but it's what you would call it dirty in the sense that he's just grinding his elbow in his face and all those things that are just miserable if you're the guy on the bottom. It's just not fun, and again, it's not dirty, but it's just, they call it kind of dirty fighting because your opponent, everything he does just doesn't feel good and you're making it feel bad.
Well, it's one thing to get slugged in the face like that with a nice, strong, heavy hand, but when they bring that hand down on your face and cover up your mouth and your nose and you can't suck any air, that's just stuff. Another...
Yeah, that's all the stuff that Nate Gerrard's good at. He's good at all the little things that just make you uncomfortable underneath there, make you wish you weren't underneath there, and he continues to strike elbows and punches one after the next, and Sugarloaf's he's taking a little bit of a beating here, man. He's getting roughed up, and now it looks like a nice neck crank. I don't think that's a choke, but it's a neck crank, and it was not a very comfortable one. Yeah, it was done. He tapped out on that one. I don't blame him. That thing was on super tight, and boy, it just, it just hurts. When you're underneath there, you got a guy with arms like that twisting your head off your shoulders. It hurts. And Sugarloaf, he took it for about as long as he could, and then he donated some blood, which was really nice of him. And that's going to do it. Now, Sugarloaf got beat up a little bit tonight, and we haven't seen a whole lot of that. He doesn't normally come out too beat up. He's got a nice big welt over his left eye, and his nose is bleeding pretty good. And that kid, he got it taken to him tonight. Nate Gerrard doing his thing. Congratulations. Well, that's going to put a wrap on things here tonight, Todd. We had a bunch of the guys from the gym came out. We had some ups, we had some downs, more downs than ups. But all in all, I think a team effort. It was a good time by all.
Hey, I had a great night watching these guys. They train really hard, work hard. Just love to see them getting out here. The good sportsmanship. Another one for Mike. Come on, buddy. We got to get over that hump.
Well, as expected, man. Nate Gerrard making light work of the Sugarloaf. But, again, Mike's that guy that'll come in and fight anybody, anytime, and a lot of respect for him. The guys in the gym respect that because he's not just talking about it. He's doing it. So lots of love. In fact, maybe he'll fight next week. Who knows? You're going to have to tune in to find out. We'll see you next week on the Ultimate Combat Experience.